learningspace.com.ng.
Hello, everyone. Please, I want to wrap up this section, measurement and units, with this set of questions on how to take readings on micrometer, screw gauge, and your vernier caliper. Let's start with this one, UME 1990 question 1. Now, whenever you see a vernier caliper question like this, there are two scales. We have the main scale, which is this part that you can see, and we have the vernier scale, which is this part. Now, the main scale graduation is 0.1, while the vernier scale is 0.01. Now, here we have 2. Whenever you want to take the reading on the main scale, you ensure you look at the vernier scale. Where this line meets the main scale is where you stop. But here we don't know the number here. Okay? So now the next number we have here given to us is 2 cm. So you take the reading and stop here. Now if from here to here is 2, from here to here, if it is 2, now that means if you come down here, this will be 1.9. Since each graduation is 0.1. So from here to here is 2, from this point to this point is 1.9. We are stopping here. So if you bring it here, this will be 1.8. So your main scale is 1.80 centimeters. Now to take your reading on the vernier scale is very easy. Each one of it is what? 0.1. Then which do you start with? You start from this one, of course. Okay? Then you take your reading. This is 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, 0.08. Now you have to stop here where you have the upper line coinciding with what? Meeting the line with the vernier scale. That's this part. That's 0.08, 0.08. Okay, now if you add it up, of course it's in cm. That'll give you 8. This plus this, 8. This plus this, that'll give you 1. So 1.88 centimeters. And that will give us option A, of course. That's option A. Now, on the next question I want us to consider is UME 94 question 1. Now we're given this question. Now remember what we did here on UME 1990 question 1. This portion, the main scale is 0.1, while the vernier scale is 0.01. Now what you do here is very easy. You stop here, the point before the vernier scale starts. That's where you stop. So this is 1, this is 1.10, 1.2, and this is 1.3. You stop here. So that's 1.30 centimeter. That's your main scale reading. Now you go on and see the vernier scale. Remember, don't forget, your vernier scale is graduated in 0.01. That's a vernier scale. Your main scale is 0.1. So vernier scale now, where do you start? You start from this line, of course. Where do you stop? Where a line from the main scale meets the what? A line from the vernier scale. That's from this point. So you have a 1, 2, that's 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05. You can see 5 is given to us in the question. This would be 0.06, 0.07, 0.08, and this is 0.09. So 0.09 cm. If you add it up, this 9, this 3, this 1.3 cm. And that's question 2 on what we have. That's option C from your pack. Okay. Now let's go on to how to read micrometer screw gauge. How to read micrometer screw gauge is very, very easy. Now on your micrometer screw gauge, let's see NECO 1990 question 6. On your micrometer screw gauge, you have 2 scales. You have the main scale, okay, this portion. Then you have the circular scale, that's this portion. Now, the micrometer screw gauge is graduated, the unit is millimeter. Now, the smallest graduation on the main scale is 0.5. So if this is 0, if you come down here, 0.5. Go up 1, 1.5, 2, 2.53. So on your main scale, you have 3.00 millimeter. Okay, now on your circular scale, The same thing you did for your vernier scale, that's what you apply here. Now you look out for the line on the what? On your main scale that meets a line on the circular scale, and that's this line. This line is coming from the main scale, meets the one from the circular scale at this point. Now they've given us hints that this particular line is 10, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, this is 15. There's a line here, that's 16. This line is where we are stopping, that's 17. So you divide that 17 by 100, that will give you 0.17. If you add it up, you have 3, of course it is in mm, you have 3.17 millimeter. That will give you option E. Option E is correct for NECO 1990 question 6. Now let's take this one. Very easy. This PCE 1995 question 1. Now what to do here, we have two scales. We have the main scale, we have the what? Circular scale. Now you have here the main scale is 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5. And this is 5.5. That's where you stop. This 5.50 is in millimeter, don't forget. Now on your circular scale, now mind you, the line coming from your main scale, where it meets the line on the circular scale, is where you stop, and that's this line, this straight line. And the number there is 15. What you just do, 15, you divide it by 100, that will give you 0.15. So if you add it up, you have 0 plus 5, of course, that's 5. 5 plus 1, that's 6. Then 5.0, that will give 5.6. 5.65. So that answer is 5.65 millimeters. Okay, 5.65 millimeter, and that will give you option A. Okay, that's option A of PC 1995 question 1. Now again, please do not forget that to take your reading on this measuring device is very easy. Okay, your vernier caliper, we have two scales, the main scale and the vernier scale. The main scale, the least graduation is 0.1. For your vernier scale, it is 0.01. And you look for the line. When you're taking reading on the vernier scale, you look for the line where the upper line meets the lower line. That's, for this question, it is this line. Now, you have to be very careful when taking this reading, because the examiners are very funny. They can put those lines very close. Okay? Now, you have to open your eyes wide and look for the one that coincide very well, the upper line and the lower line. Okay? So that's what we have for that. Now, I want to advise us that you practice more questions. Check my assignment file or question file where you need to practice more questions. I will give you more questions that you practice, about 50 of them, about 30 or thereabouts, that you will see and solve. And meanwhile, let me just give you some tips on measurement and unit. Measurement and unit, in your exam, you see nothing less than 3 questions. So you have to take this section very seriously. The next thing we'll be treating is vector and scalar quantities. That's the second topic, vector and scalar quantities. Now under that, you see nothing less than 2, 3, 4 questions in your exam. And of course, you also need to take that section very seriously. I will see you in the next video. All right.